Hello everyone and welcome to a Replica Airguns video. My name is Michael K. And as promised, I have for you today one of my Retay 9mm blank pistols. You may want to check out my preview video where I show all three of my Retay guns that I just recently got. So we're going to start off the official reviews with the Retay Eagle. Now this is a 9mm P.A.K blank shooter. This is what your 9mm rounds look like. So it's a blank gun. It doesn't shoot anything other than fire and smoke coming out of the front of the gun. This gun does not fire live ammunition, and it's not designed to be altered or to shoot real 9mm rounds because it's not designed for the high pressure of live ammo. This is a front firing gun, so all the gases, flame, and smoke exit out the front of the gun. There are some top venting blank guns, but in Canada we need the front venting guns so that we can put flare adapters on them. The Eagle holds 18 rounds in the magazine, so it can hold 18 rounds plus one in the chamber, so a total of 19 rounds. It's single and double action and weighs in at close to 3 pounds, so it's very heavy. It's mostly metal with the exception of basically the handle and the butt plate. Now by the way, Retay is another company situated in Turkey that makes blank pistols. They make a few other products as well. And if you haven't noticed, this is a very good copy of the Desert Eagle. So let's take a look around the gun really quick. On our left side you can see here we have some of the branding, caliber size, serial number. Now these screws here are to field strip it, so you would actually need to remove these screws on both sides of the gun to take off the slide. Now we have our safety here, and it's ambidextrous, as you can see. This gun, by the way, does fire in single and double action. I have safety checked it. You can see here there are no rounds in the chamber or the magazine. So you can see here single action and double action, which is nice. And that there is your slide catch release, as you can see. We have our magazine release right here. Here's your magazine, holds 18 rounds. I'm just going to pop a few rounds in here for you and then take them out, of course. Just like a real gun. Alright, so let's take a look at the right side of the gun. Again, your ambidextrous safety here. Not too much else going on. There's a little symbol here that they've put in. This is their, I guess, their manufacturer's symbol. And there's no other real markings on here. Now the grips, by the way, are plastic on this gun. Now there's not a whole lot to talk about on the top of this gun. You do have your sights, although this is a blank gun, remember, so you don't need to really have any adjustable sights because you're not shooting anything again. You have your extractor situated on the top. So with this gun, when you shoot it, the rounds or the ejected brass will come basically straight up, and most of the time will go backwards. So we'll hopefully get a chance to see that in the high-speed footage that I've taken of this gun shooting. Just want to show you the gun open, the top. As you can see right through here when you have the magazine out. Now on the bottom of this gun, there's really not a whole lot going on. There's no real rails or anything to attach to it. I suppose you could maybe mount a rail adapter to it, but I wouldn't really want to mess around with this gun at all. And again, your magazine comes out the bottom, 18 rounds in the magazine. Now this gun is front firing. You can see in here, and I want to touch on this, you'll see inside of here that there's a Allen key screw. And what happens here is this little restrictor is purposely put in there to create some back pressure, because when this gun fires it's not pushing a bullet, so there's no pressure really inside the gun. All the pressure goes out the front, and so to simulate actually having a little bit of pressure they put a restrictor in here. Now if you remove this restrictor, the gun will not cycle properly, and I get people that will comment and say my gun isn't working, and the first question I ask them is, did you unscrew that piece that goes inside the barrel? And almost every time they'll say yes, I did. And hopefully they didn't throw it out or anything, otherwise the gun won't cycle properly. And the reason I bring this up is because you may need to remove the screw to put this flare adapter in, because it's not really going to thread properly without that screw removed. It might thread a little bit, but I wouldn't want it in there just a bit. See, it's in, but I wouldn't consider that to be in very good. It's just a turn and a bit. So I would remove this screw. If you're going to use this as a flare gun, remove the internal barrel screw, the restrictor, and put the flare in then. Now all the Retay guns come in these hard shell cases, hard plastic cases. They're foam lined. And as you can see, you've got your gun, and they do come with a flare adapter. There's usually some plastic either around the gun or the flare adapter. Now there's no manual that comes with these guns, and there's also no cleaning rod. So you're going to have a little bit of basic gun knowledge to use this particular gun, but they're not that difficult to use, so it shouldn't take too long. You can watch a few videos on how to use these guns and pretty much figure it out. Now I'm not going to actually do a field strip of this gun. I don't mind field stripping guns when there's a takedown lever provided or some easy way to actually take the gun apart. But in this case there are, like I was mentioning, there are 2 screws on either side that you need to undo. So I don't think you really need to do this very often. You may want to take it apart once in a while to clean it out. Depends on how much you fire the gun. So at this point we're going to head outside to my pool house where it's nice and quiet, and we're going to shoot some rounds off with this gun. We're going to shoot off 3 rounds with my regular HD camera at 60 frames per second so I can slow it down a little bit, and then I'm going to move to my high-speed camera and shoot another 3 rounds so we can slow it down at 210 frames per second, and I'll probably half-speed it at that point as well. Now please keep in mind that my camera microphone really reduces the sound. It actually compresses the audio, and the fact that we're inside of a cabin, you don't hear any echoes or anything. But this blank gun and all of my blank guns are extremely loud. You will need to wear ear protection when you're firing these, and please do not fire these guns off in residential neighborhoods, or the police will come and they'll take your gun away and possibly charge you with something. Alright, so that was a lot of fun shooting this gun, and I have to mention, I did shoot all 3 of my blank guns. I didn't just go out there to record this one. I shot them all, and every single round that went through all of the guns fired flawlessly. They fed perfectly, they ejected perfectly, everything worked out really well. So I shot 6 rounds in each gun for a total of 18 rounds with absolutely no problems. Okay, so let's talk about some of the pros and the cons. Well, first of all, it's a Desert Eagle. What else do I need to say about it? It's a replica of a Desert Eagle, one of the coolest guns around. And with that said, I do have different finishes available. This gun is available in the Replica Airgun store. It's available as a pre-sale item, so I'm going to have this around October 20th. So if you're watching this video before October 20th, you may be able to take advantage of a pre-sale savings of up to $40 on this particular gun. And with the other Retay guns, we're offering some similar discounts on pre-sale orders. We are going to be selling this gun. Now this is the satin version, so it's like a natural metal with a bit of a gold tint to it. And I do like the look very much, but we're actually going to be carrying this in black, so it's a matte black, in a chrome. Now the chrome isn't shiny like you would think. Retay's idea of what chrome is more of a metallic version of the satin. So this one with the gold tint removed from it. And then I felt it would be really good to have a shiny version, so a nickel version. So we're actually going to carry a nickel version of this, and I'm going to be getting the nickel version as well because I just think you have to have a Desert Eagle in nickel. It's just a must. Moving on with some of the pros, I like the fact that it shoots in double and single action. It's a nice touch. I like the ambidextrous safety on it. It's always nice having a front firing gun. This gun has really good weight and feel. Like I said, it's close to 3 pounds in weight, just a little bit over. And it has a very high capacity magazine for a pistol, 18 rounds, so 18 plus 1. Some of the cons about the gun, I would have liked to have maybe seen these screws color matched. So perhaps you could do something about that, either color them yourself or maybe sand them down so they look more natural, depending on which gun you have. If you have the black one, it probably won't be as noticeable. But with the lighter colored guns, it would be better if these screws were also lighter. Now on the front of the gun, the hole in the front is maybe a little small for a Desert Eagle. It would have been nice to see maybe a larger diameter hole, but I have a feeling that Retay did that so that it would fit their standard flare adapter so they wouldn't have to make another type of flare adapter. It also would have been nice if there was a manual with this gun for people that are new to blank gunning now. Personally, I don't care because I have so many manuals and they all basically have the same information inside. And it's also nice when these guns have a cleaning rod. Now both my Echo guns and my Retay guns don't come with cleaning rods, but the Zeraki line used to come with a cleaning rod, which is nice. Alright, so thanks everyone for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to check this gun out, especially if it's before October 20th, before we get inventory. Now that's just a rough estimate date. They may come in a little sooner or a little later, but as soon as we have these in stock, there will be no more pre-sale discount. So if you're interested in purchasing this gun, make sure to run down to the Replica Airgun store right now and buy this gun. You'll save about $40 on this gun. I hate to even say how inexpensive this is, but we're selling this for $135 right now. It's crazy. And as always, check out the Replica Airguns website. I have a whole bunch of articles and reviews on various guns. I'll even be posting a written review of this gun, and it might have some other information in there for you to check out. If you're interested in airguns and accessories, I also have a nice variety of Replica Airguns and accessories in my Replica Airguns web store. So thanks so much for watching another Replica Airguns video. Until next time, take care and see you later.